In the beginning, God created the wolf. A few thousand years ago, man domesticated the wolf and created the dog. In 2007, Manalo Canine was born and we started creating SUPERDOGS. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Abel de la Cruz Manalo from the Philippines. I am the CEO and owner of Manalo Canine Technologies International Corporation and now known as Meta Animals Technologies Corporation. So thank you for letting us show you what we're doing here in the Philippines and showcase our SUPERDOGS. My talk is about how to produce SUPERDOGS to serve humankind. Since 2007, we've been producing SUPERDOGS, meaning dogs that are working dogs, but are not only working dogs, but are excellent in their jobs. My passion for dogs came very early. As a kid, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to work with dogs. So in 1993, I set out to become a veterinarian. I took up my veterinary medicine course in the University of the Philippines, and I specialized in small animal practice, particularly in dogs. While I was in college, I started setting up a club that was a canine club, and we organized dog shows all over the province. And I started to be connected with a lot of people in the dog world. I became interested in showing dogs, exhibiting dogs for show. In 1996, I began breeding Rottweilers and showing them, but I realized that dogs that were for show weren't really being exhibited for their working traits. And then after I graduated from veterinary medicine school, I became interested in working dogs because of some groups who were involved in real working dog training. I became acquainted with the Belgian Malinois breed as well as the working line German Shepherds and Dutch Shepherds, and I was fascinated about the capacities these dogs had for work. So then I realized that not all working dogs in the working dog breeds are the same. There were working dogs that were only being bred for show and not for their working potential. And then there were working dogs that were actually being worked for real work. And then I became acquainted with the canine industry through some canine trainers, and they taught me what to do in terms of training dogs in detection work for explosives and narcotics, in tracking, and different other stuff. So we started to do that, and then we were noticed by an American company called Vigilant Canine Services International, which was based in Afghanistan and Iraq and South Africa and the US. It was a US company, and they partnered with us. They bought my company way back in 2009, and we started bringing dogs and handlers to Afghanistan, where their clients included the ISAF of NATO, the embassies in Afghanistan, as well as the international airport in Kabul and the power plant in Kabul as well. But later on, our visas were not being processed, so I had to buy back the company from the Americans, and I started out again on my own. But eventually, I was contacted by the government of Iraq, and they actually wanted some dogs for me. So they sent someone to check us out, and we've been shipping dogs from the Philippines to Baghdad and also to Lebanon starting about 2010. So after 2010, we were also shipping out dogs to the US as well as in several other smaller countries. We were able to supply a lot of dogs to local military units as well, like the Philippine Marines and the Philippine Army. So we were really honored to do that. And recently, we were also able to supply 252 dogs to the Philippine Coast Guard Canine Unit to work on various ports and other installments all over the country. And we have a big archipelago of islands, more than 7,000 islands and islets. We were also able to supply a lot of dogs to the Presidential Security Group, and they are tasked to protect no less than our president himself. Currently also, we have the biggest private canine contract in the country, Okada Manila. It's the biggest resort complex in Entertainment City, and we have a lot of dogs and canine handlers there, as well as in other detachments. So our job is not simple. It's not a pet shop. It is a real big business in security that requires our 100% attention in detail. So our production of super dogs cannot be mediocre. So from the selection of dogs that we breed, to the way that we breed them and develop them and train them, to how we deploy our canine teams and conduct our business in the detachments, we have to be top-notch.
It all starts here at the Canine Genetics Center of Manalo Canine. This is where all our dogs that are bred get to whelp and rear their puppies in peace. Our Canine Genetics Center is staffed by professionals who are here full-time, taking care of the puppies, the dams, as well as the pregnant dogs. This is Miss Anne, this is Miss Ice, and that's Miss Marianne. Yeah. They're not models. They're just ordinary people. Let's take a look at one of the whelping rooms. I think here we have 6 pit bull puppies, American pit bull terrier puppies. And then we have Labradors.
We also have here Yuna. Yuna is one of our canine dogs. Really well.
So we breed a lot of different breeds of dogs, and most of the dogs that we breed are from our working dogs that are in the detachments. Like this dog was bred in the detachment with another canine that was also working there at Tocada, Manila. And she was brought home already pregnant. Actually, this was an accidental breeding, but it's okay because both of the dogs that were paired are excellent working dogs. And these dogs also came from excellent working dogs. We look for certain traits in the dogs that we breed. For example, these Labradors cannot be good protection dogs. They will not bite, but they can be good detection dogs. So we look for dogs that are really good in sniffing.
By the age of 3 weeks, we feed them with SUPERDOGS nutrition.
So Miss Anne here is explaining to us what they do at the whelping area to ensure that these dogs grow up and develop to become working dog potential dogs. You see, the first few weeks of puppy life is not just about growth, it's also about stimulating their intelligence.
Just soak the SUPERDOGS nutrition in water for at least 15 minutes. 15 minutes before you give it to them.
This is another batch of Belgian Malinois puppies. Some of them are already bought. But before they go to their new homes, they will undergo some training first, depending on what the owners would like them to learn.
These are our Van Dogs puppies. Van Dogs is a combination of American Pit Bull Terrier and American Mastiff. These are 3 months old already.
So I realized over our working dog canine career that not all purebred dogs are capable of the work. And we're also experimenting with crossbreeds like these Pit Bull and American Mastiff crosses, as well as other breeds that we cross. Over the years, we've been able to produce a lot of hybrids or crossbreeds that are excellent working dogs, and we've sent them all over the globe. And we realized that genetics of hybrids are stronger than genetics of purebred dogs like these ones. If you do crossbreeding right, you get to make use of hybrid vigor.
Okay, when I was a kid, I dreamt of having a facility like this. And even in college, when I was a veterinary student, I did a feasibility about having a kennel and making it into a business. So here I am at Manalo Canine, the realization of my dream decades ago, and I'm really happy about what we're doing here. For me, this is exciting work. This is a dream come true. So selection of dogs is very important. We only use the best dogs to create the next generation of super dogs. How we select our super dogs is very simple. We only select dogs that are proven excellent in their work. We have hundreds of dogs that are deployed as explosive detection dogs, narcotic detection dogs, as well as patrol dogs. So we do not have a shortage of good breeding stock. We do not only select dogs that are tested in the field or tested in the show ring. We breed dogs based on their capacity to work in high-intensity workloads in the real McCoy, out in the field. We have literally produced thousands of super dogs.
And from an early age, we're able to see if a dog or a puppy has potential or not. And we're also able to classify them according to their potential. We have a super puppy classification system, and we grade them from A to C. Class A dogs are capable to become dual-purpose dogs eventually. So these dogs can do protection work as well as detection or tracking. Class B dogs are those puppies that can only be used for single-purpose work later on. These can either be detection dogs, or tracking dogs, or protection dogs only, or they might be able to do dual-purpose work but not at the level that the Class A puppies can do eventually. And then there are the Class C dogs that we will not sell with the premise of being potential working dogs. They can be potential pets or family dogs, but these dogs that are classified as Class C will not be recommended to become working dogs eventually. But somehow, some of these dogs that are classified as Class C eventually turn out to be good working dog prospects as well. Some dogs mature faster than others, so it's really a gamble at this stage. So as you can see in the video, we have a small obstacle course for the puppies, and we do a lot of different things to develop their drives, their intelligence, because you really have to stimulate their brains at this early stage. Or else, if you do not do anything at this age, you just watch them grow, then you are losing out on a very rapid development phase that the dogs have to utilize at an early stage for them to eventually become excellent working dogs, super dogs. But before they reach 4 months, their vaccinations are not yet complete, so we do not do a lot with them unless they already complete their vaccinations. So we have strict biosecurity in this area. Before you get in, you have to step on a foot bath with disinfectant. You have to obey protocols because we don't want the dogs to get sick. And we have had a lot of puppies in the past that died or became sick because of the normal sicknesses like parvovirus and coronavirus and other stuff. So we are very careful with our puppies. And after 4 months, they can already be trained. They can be brought to the training area. But before that, they are developed here and they are trained here at puppy area or whelping area of the canine genetics department. So there's Raymond, their trainer, and a few other guys like Nico who are in charge of development of the puppies. So we have full-time staff doing that. We want to ensure that the genetics of these puppies do not go to waste. So we make sure that they're developed in all the different aspects of development as a puppy. So we build their drives. If they're going to be protection dogs, we build their drives to bite and to chase after prey items like this pillow. And we want the dogs to have full bites. Although at this stage, they only have milk teeth. So we are very careful in how we develop them, how we develop their bites. So we are only able to develop them to a certain extent at this stage, but in a later stage, their drives and skills will be developed even further. But at this stage, we're also able to determine which dogs are more determined to solve problems and which dogs are not willing to solve problems, and which dogs are stubborn, which dogs have different issues psychologically or physically. And of course, we do not want to breed those dogs anymore. They fall short of our expectations in any aspect. So you can see why bloodlines and genetics, parentage is very important to our work, because we want to preserve the different bloodlines that we are creating, because from generation to generation, we are able to enhance skills of our dogs to a higher level if we do the breeding properly. We do not just put one dog and another dog together, but we really put a lot of thought into it, a lot of science into it. And we're able to do that with our huge laboratory of dogs. We're able to see how they work and how they develop until adulthood. And we're able to monitor their progress even though they're already working in the field. So we're very happy with our super dog breeding in that way.
Like this puppy, for example, he's barely 4 months, and he's already exhibiting good bite. He's already exhibiting good prey drive, and prey drive means they are willing and they're eager to grab an item because they think that they are grabbing a prey item, because they are hunters. Basically, dogs are carnivores. They are all descendants of wolves. So that trait is very useful to us, whether we are training dogs for protection work or detection work or tracking. So it is the inherent traits of dogs that they got from wolves that we are making use of in our canine work. Apart from their intelligence, their drives, and their nerves, we are also looking into different aspects of the dog, including their tolerance to heat, especially here in the Philippines. We have very humid and hot summer months, and many dogs in the field just give up, or they just shut down when they are subject to long hours of work out in the field and under the sun. So we know which dogs from which bloodlines can tolerate that kind of heat. And then we also look into pain tolerance for dogs that are going into protection work. Like these band dogs, our super dog puppies, which are pit bull and American Mastiff crosses. We are expecting these dogs to be high in pain threshold, and they will not just release a bite even if they are being hurt by the suspect or the bad guy. So the pit bull blood would be very useful, and the American Mastiff blood will lend some size to these puppies. Eventually we will see how big these puppies will turn out to be, and at this moment they're just 3 months, and I'm very happy with how they look. And we're going to develop these bloodlines. I don't think we're going to sell these dogs, but eventually we're going to develop them, and we're going to proceed on creating a new bloodline of dogs under our super dog breeding program. Record keeping is very important to us, and in this video we are showing our deworming and vaccination schedules written in a whiteboard, so that we can monitor the different prophylactic treatments that we give our puppies, so as to ensure that they are healthy and they will survive until their adulthood. And we are also very interested in recording the different matings of dogs that we breed. So we also created the ICGD. So the ICGD is our kennel management system that I had our IT department create way back in 2019, and it has developed very well ever since. We also extended this service to the public, and a lot of people are already enrolling their dogs here. It's a very useful program. Our dogs are all here at MK9. So if you click on this, you can see the different dogs that we have in our kennel. They're all here, from golden retrievers to pit bulls to Siberian huskies to American bullies and Belgian Malinois. For example, let's take a look at the records of Manalo K9's Victor. So here you can see Victor's photos. He also has a QR code. All his details are here, as well as the pedigree that he has. So I can see who Victor's parents are, his grandparents, as well as great-grandparents, etc. So this is very useful information. And we also have a litter page wherein we can see the different breedings that we've done. For example, let's take a look at the band dog puppies that we've shown, the 3 big puppies. These are their parents, Boss and Pitchy. So this is their litter profile. If I click on this, I can see the records of the parents, as well as the 4 puppies that came out from this breeding. I can even like this and share this on my social media. So it's very useful. So we have good record keeping with the ICGD. And now we also extended this to different animals. We are also accepting registrations for cats, birds, and rabbits.
Soon, this will be an all-animal registry.
So that's our whelping area where everything starts. Now let's go to the training and kennels area.
We are using a 2.4 hectare facility here at Binangonan in the province of Rizal in the Philippines. It's an ideal place for dogs. It's far from any big residential areas, and it's quiet, and it's got good climate because it's kind of high up in the hills, and a lot of our staff are already living in the area and living in the vicinity of the area itself. So all the dogs are housed here, apart from the dogs in our detachments.
Greetings, I'm Richard Lazaro, the Chief Operating Officer of Manalo Canine Technologies International. As such, I am responsible for the design and implementation of business operations, as well as the formulation and establishment of company policies, and the overall head to oversee the work of our department heads and business unit heads as well. Now, recently, we also initiated the accomplishment of ISO 9001 for quality management system in Manalo K9. This is in line with the development of SUPERDOGS in the company.
So this is Sir Red Aggie. He is the kennel management department head.
I'm Red Aggie. I'm the kennel manager here at the Maamon site. So I administer and manage all the health of dog here at site and in our other detachments like Okada and other more.
So if anything happens to our dogs, it's his fault.
Yes. Come try and fight me.
Oh.
So here in Manalo K9, we do nothing but breed dogs, play with them, train them, develop them, sell them, and also use them in our detachments for various activities that will help humankind. So we're really happy with what we do, and we always look for ways to have an edge, to be excellent in what we do. So we've also developed some products for creating that edge. We developed our own grooming products like SUPERDOG soap, which is a mixture of different herbal and natural ingredients to get rid of various skin ailments and skin problems of dogs, and it's very, very effective. We've been using it since 2012. We also developed our own dog food, SDN, or SUPERDOG Nutrition, which is very high in protein, and it's the best dog food in the multiverse. We also have our own dog powder and also equipment like leashes and collars.
From us here at Manalo K9 Meta Animals Technologies Corporations Philippines, thank you very much and mabuhay!
SDN, the best.
SDN, the best dog food in the universe!